This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
RTV6 is working to keep you and your family informed as we continue to deal with the coronavirus outbreak and its impact on central Indiana. Thanks for joining us here at 11 o'clock. I'm Nicole Griffin. As of tonight, 127 Hoosiers have died from COVID-19. The Indiana State Department of Health says we now have more than 4,400 confirmed cases. More than 22,000 people have been tested so far in the state. Let's get a snapshot of what's happening around the world tonight, starting in New York, where the governor still says his state is in desperate need of crucial medical equipment. Here's ABC's Trevor Alt with the very latest.
Following an afternoon meeting with his coronavirus task force, President Trump holding his daily press briefing.
In the days ahead, America will endure the peak of this terrible pandemic. Our warriors in this life and death battle are the incredible doctors and nurses and healthcare workers on the front line of the fight.
Officials say 3 hot zones across the country, New York, Detroit, and Louisiana, are likely a week from hitting the apex.
The New York metro area, New Jersey, Louisiana, and a series, and Washington State have all tested at a rate greater than Italy and Spain.
With more than 1,700 New Yorkers dead in 3 days, the governor saying the state is still in grave need of crucial equipment.
We're literally going day to day with our supplies, with our staff, etc.
Every New York City hospital expected to be at or near total capacity this week.
We have a very, very ambitious plan to create more beds, but we're going to need the medical personnel to go with it.
So right now, 1,000 military medical personnel are on their way here to the Javits Center to help treat COVID-19 patients. Just weeks ago, this was a convention center. It's now one of the largest hospitals in the entire country.
This convention center in New Orleans also set to open as a temporary hospital. Louisiana's Governor John Bel Edwards says his state will run out of ventilators by Thursday if the current pace continues. Illinois' Governor J.B. Pritzker says he asked for 4,000 ventilators, though so far 450 have been delivered by the federal government, with more expected.
If they had started in February building ventilators, getting ready for this pandemic, we would not have the problems that we have today, and frankly, very many fewer people would die.
Overseas, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, 10 days after testing positive for coronavirus, has been admitted to the hospital. The news coming just hours after a rare televised address from the Queen.
I hope in the years to come, everyone will be able to take pride in how they responded to this challenge.
Trevor Alt, ABC News, New York.
Ship worldwide and other things, but right now, I really want to make sure our Hoosier families are cared for.
RTV6 is committed to showing how Hoosiers are working together during the coronavirus pandemic. Tonight, a Martinsville company is answering a call to help local hospitals. Workers at Shields Windshields typically make windshields and windows, mainly for construction vehicles, but now they are making medical supplies. The president of the company says they were approached and asked to make intubation boxes for hospitals. The boxes are a barrier that helps protect healthcare workers when they are intubating a patient.
Starting to get a lot of responses, and so we're starting to get ramped up. We're hoping we can get some out there to help some people.
RTV6 is also focusing on helping Hoosiers get jobs through our Hiring Hoosiers initiative. If you live in or around the Martinsville area, Shields Windshields is looking to fill several positions right now. The president says they are already busy due to the construction season, and making these new boxes is expected to increase their workload even more. Indianapolis Colts owner Jim Irsay says he will donate some much-needed equipment to help Indiana's healthcare workers during the coronavirus pandemic. Irsay tweeted that he has obtained more than 10,000 N95 masks, and he plans to give them to the Indiana State Department of Health. And it is not the first time Irsay has contributed to Indiana's relief effort during the COVID-19 crisis. In March, he announced he would contribute $1 million to Gleaners Food Bank if an additional $200,000 could be raised from other donors. Less than 24 hours later, the goal was met and exceeded when donors gave more than $300,000. Tonight, the effort continues to help healthcare and essential workers on the front lines of the pandemic. We've told you in recent weeks about people making masks at home. Two sisters and their mom who live in Fishers created this video walking people step by step on how to do it. Their design even allows them to put a filter inside the mask from a garment bag donated by Ashley Renee's Prom and Pageant in Granger, Indiana. We found out about this effort after a physician from Ascension St. Vincent reached out to RTV6 to share how this family is working together to help the community. We talked to them today on FaceTime about why they want to help.
We actually started these masks because we knew that there was a shortage during the time. And we have started doing ones for kids and for adults, and we've donated over 100 masks so far.
We are so thankful to all the people who are out there saving lives, and they put their life at risk to serve the community. So this is a small way we can help out.
Well, they have donated masks to local hospitals, nursing homes, and frontline workers at banks and grocery stores. The state health commissioner says many of the healthcare workers that actually use these homemade masks use them as a cover for their N95 masks. With the donations, the girls have also included handwritten notes to show their appreciation. New at 11, Pike Township EMS and Fire is thanking the healthcare workers at Ascension St. Vincent Hospital. Just before 7 o'clock tonight, a parade started as a way to show their support for the hospital staff working inside the hospital during the COVID-19 pandemic. Truck after truck, as you see here, with those lights flashing and sirens blaring, drove by the hospital right there as the staff members waved from the street. Good to see. An Indianapolis pastor says he has big plans for Easter Sunday, even though the church building will not be packed full of members this year. RTV6's Troy Washington is working for you to explain how he is determined to share a message of hope, even as people continue to shelter in place.
Easter Sunday marks the resurrection of Jesus Christ.
We usually call it our Super Bowl Sunday. That's our Super Bowl Sunday.
It's a church service most people won't miss all year.
People, if they hadn't been in church in months, they will come to church on that Sunday.
But this year, the entire congregation will have to stay home because of orders in place due to COVID-19.
I don't remember one moment that I've actually had an Easter service that I did not walk through the doors of a sanctuary.
Luckily, not being able to sit inside of New Beginnings Fellowship Church won't stop Pastor James A. Jackson from giving people something to look forward to.
The church is not limited to just a facility. It's not limited to pews and carpet and walls.
In fact, this pastor sees it as an opportunity.
This Easter Sunday is going to be a lot different. Because this is so different for us, we have to be very intentional.
He plans to make it unforgettable.
We're trying to really put on a production for the people of God and for the folk during this season, because there's so much discouragement and so much despair that is around us. People are worried, full of anxiety.
Pastor Jackson is making Easter Sunday a virtual experience. Church members may not be able to step through those doors on Sunday, but they can still tune in virtually to get a worthwhile message.
So many people now are focused in online, that it has given us an opportunity to be able to reach so many more people.
To share a message of hope when we all need it most. Working for you, Troy Washington, RTV6.
Troy, thank you. In an effort to give back, Pastor Jackson's congregation contributed recently to the donation of 200,000 masks to local hospitals. Now to your Storm Team 6 forecast. Meteorologist Kyle Mount standing by. Hey, Kyle.
Yeah, and Nicole, today was one of those where some of us saw sunshine, others were pretty much locked into those clouds, and you can see that those clouds really haven't moved from where we were at 6 o'clock, basically south of I-70, but we're dry. Where we've got the clear skies, temperatures a little bit chilly. You're down to 42 already in Muncie, 50 in Columbus, and tomorrow morning you might want to layer up for that walk, but I think Zoe might sleep in and skip it there. Thanks to Lisa for sending in that photo. We'll have temperatures in the 40s to around 50 by 10 a.m. Coming up, we'll talk about a spring warmth to start off the week, some storm potential, and a supermoon in the forecast.
All right, Kyle, thank you so much. Well, coming up, more proof that predators are ready to pounce during these tough times. We have details on a scam that seems to be from a legitimate, well-known retailer. The school field trip with a new spin, how the coronavirus is giving students a chance to step into a new world without leaving home. Stay with us.
Mix and match 2 for $5. Feed your belly.
This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
A woman has died after she was shot this weekend at an East Side gas station. The woman was taken to Methodist Hospital in critical condition after the shooting yesterday afternoon near North Shadeland and 21st Street. She died several hours later. 2 children and 2 other women also were in the minivan. They were not injured. Police later took 26-year-old Tyree Henning in for questioning. Investigators believe the shooting stemmed from a domestic dispute. A warning tonight from Call 6 Investigates. If you're expecting a stimulus check from the federal government, scammers would love to get their hands on it too. Take a look at this right here. The Federal Trade Commission issued a warning last week reminding you do not have to sign up for a relief check. Do not click on any links asking you for your personal information, and no one has early access to this money. Anyone that claims to is a scammer. The FTC says funds will start going out in the next few weeks. Scammers are using the lack of detail to try to trick people into giving out their personal information and their money. And there's another scam we do want to warn you about. It's a text message that appears to be from Costco, and it offers shoppers $110 of goods in exchange for filling out a survey. However, the link contains malware and could allow hackers to access your personal information. If you're heading to Walgreens, you may see a few changes inside. The pharmacy chain is now providing face covers for workers at stores and its distribution center to protect employees from coronavirus. The company says it is also testing employees for fever. And like other businesses, Walgreens is installing plexiglass shields to separate cashiers from customers. You might notice that Walgreens has also changed its hours. That's to allow extra time for deep cleanings. Field trips were some of the best parts of school, but so many places have had to shut down due to COVID-19. But now museums, zoos, U.S. national parks, and others have adapted and created an online experience. Chris Stewart reports.
The sounds of the canary of the sea, better known as the beluga whale. Just one of the animals featured on daily Facebook Lives from Mystic Aquarium in Connecticut. Staff say this one hit the max number of views allowed, 10,000 at once.
Our mission here is to inspire people, through education, conservation, research, and just being able to say that we are successfully doing that with something like Facebook Live is reassuring to us.
With an emphasis on distance learning, they're engaging with families who are asking questions while watching online. From the East Coast to the West, the Monterey Bay Aquarium in California is ramping up its live webcams. For the first time, that includes the sea otter exhibit. Normally, the public isn't allowed to watch the rescued pups. Now you can watch them interact with foster moms.
Typically, that work happens behind the scenes because our goal is not to have these young animals imprint on humans in any positive way before they go back to the wild.
The aquarium's also inviting anyone feeling stressed to join its meditation videos.
These guys also are solitary. That's one of the big differences between the okapi and the giraffe.
To explore kingdoms outside the sea, try searching for the hashtag #BringTheZooToYou. It's a social media campaign the Dallas Zoo started.
Whether it's educational or whether it's a funny video or just a funny picture, whatever it is we're sharing, if right now we can help bring a smile and bring a little bit of levity to the situation or some learning to the situation, we're happy about it.
Many zoos and aquariums are going beyond the online posts, educational resources, even some printable coloring pages, all available on their websites.
What we're trying to do is definitely having an impact.
We are getting so many messages on any social media channel or on email from people who are just grateful.
It's nice to see that feedback. It has inspired us.
And you're not going to have to travel very far to check out the supermoon on Tuesday night, called the Super Pink Moon. Now, it won't actually look pink. That's just the name of the full moon in the month of April, but it will be the closest and brightest full moon of 2020 here. We'll also see some of those clouds out there as we get into Tuesday night, possibly even some showers and storms that may block that view a little bit. We'll talk more about those rain chances in a few minutes. Out there, we've had plenty of clouds today. Still have some clouds around Indianapolis and Bloomington, where you've got a temperature of 53. It's 45 and clear, though, in Kokomo. And tonight we'll see those temperatures settling back into the middle 40s. I think northern locations, though, could see the middle to upper 30s by tomorrow morning, where you've had those clear skies for much of the night. We look at TrueCast, and yeah, we've got some more clouds back in the forecast here on Monday. They'll be with us, but I do think we'll see a little more sunshine than what many of us saw today as we go through our Monday afternoon and evening. It's going to be dry there, and temperatures do start to warm up, even though we're going to have those clouds. Those winds are going to switch around out of the southwest, and that'll get us through the 50s here into the early afternoon, and eventually topping out into the 60s for your Monday. A little above average for this time of year at 66 in Indy, 65 Richmond and Muncie, and close to 70 degrees here as we start off the work week in Columbus and Bloomington in the upper 60s. Now, Monday night, overnight hours, we may have a few of those showers and thunderstorms. This is picking things up a little after midnight Monday night. You can see the best chance for any of those storms going to be north of Indianapolis here as we go into Tuesday morning. Don't think we'll see severe weather with that round of thunderstorms, but as we get into Tuesday evening and the overnight hours, that's when we could see some additional storms, and already the Storm Prediction Center has a slight risk of severe storms across central Indiana, mainly for some gusty winds and hail, but that's something, of course, we'll continue to give you updates and monitor closely as we get a little closer to it. Tuesday, though, it will be warmer and more muggy as a trigger for some of those thunderstorms as we'll make it into the middle 70s. Your 7-day planning forecast, the 70s are going to stick around into Wednesday at 73. Then a chance for showers and storms Wednesday night as we'll have a cold front move through. That'll knock those temperatures back for the end of the week. 53 will be the high on Thursday. Friday only in the 40s, and we could have some patchy frost out there Friday morning. So if you did some planting this weekend, be aware of that. Heading into Easter Sunday, a few showers and highs near 60.
Kyle, thank you. Still to come on the news at 11, the rise of telemedicine. It's been spurred on by the coronavirus pandemic, but it's a trend that might become a new normal for all of us.
Stream it live on CourtTV.com.
With so many people out of work right now, our Hiring Hoosiers initiative couldn't be more important. We want to connect you to companies that are hiring right now. Chewy.com wants to fill 640 new positions before the end of the month. They're offering virtual interview options in addition to walk-in hiring events at their Clayton Fulfillment Center in Hendricks County. The walk-in hiring opportunities continue Monday through Friday from 9 to 6. Full and part-time positions are available. Go to Chewy.com/jobs. And a Hiring Hoosier success story after our story ran last Friday. Bell Technologies was flooded with applications for temporary positions. Bell Technologies' goal was to help out those newly laid off workers in the service industry, help them get jobs as customer service reps. And we are happy to report they have filled all 50 positions and are now fully staffed. You can find information about all the businesses that are hiring right now at hiringhoosiers.com. Researchers now have a new tool at their fingertips for determining if someone had the coronavirus and did not know it. The FDA just approved a test that can identify antibodies in the blood. It's a simple finger prick and results come back in 15 minutes. The test detects the presence of two kinds of antibodies, one that shows up a few days into the infection and the other that appears after a patient is recovered. As the country figures out how to safely treat patients who are sick, we've been telling you about how telemedicine has surged in popularity. Chloe Nordquist found this type of technology will likely be a commonplace for us all, even after the pandemic is over.
How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. Are you feeling okay today? All of a sudden, we're in the middle of a pandemic, and I need to figure out how am I going to take care of my well patients and how am I going to take care of my sick patients. And with that, we launched telemedicine overnight. Good job. Does that hurt when you take a deep breath? Within less than a week, over 50% of our patients were telemedicine.
This has been a very, what I would describe as linear progression up until COVID-19. What we're seeing now is really an overnight acceptance of that.
I think patients are going to feel a lot more comfortable reaching out via camera. If we're able to do this and, proof of concept.
Nick Sippis is a hospital ER physician. He's seeing firsthand how coronavirus is impacting the emergency room.
If we can keep folks in areas that are most safe for them by using telemedicine, that's one of our primary applications for it.
Which is just how Dee and Bella Health are using telemed to help their patients feel comfortable.
Hello. One of the things that has been has risen in the midst of this virus is gratitude. So much gratitude that we've instituted telemedicine where they can see us and they know that we're seeing them.
But the innovation is really what we're seeing is both physician acceptance, patient acceptance, and payer/government acceptance.
Have you guys thought about what this means for telemedicine in the future?
When this is all over, and again, I hope it's done as soon as possible, we're going to have a whole new fleet of both physicians who feel more comfortable in an expanded scope of telemedicine, as well as a better understanding of a number of different platforms.
I'm Chloe Nordquist reporting.
Working for you.
Tonight, a tight-knit community on the Near East Side of Indianapolis is finding ways to connect during the COVID-19 pandemic. Today's celebration at a distance comes as they are missing out on a huge gathering of their faith with Easter Holy Week celebrations underway.
It's Palm Sunday, so we want to celebrate it in some way.
Parading through the streets that surround Inglewood Christian Church on Sunday were members of the congregation.
I think it shows the love and the community, which is, in my opinion, one of the most important parts, at least for my faith.
Probably the biggest thing was finding a way to be together when you can't be together.
David Price has been a member of the church for 20 years. He says the close-knit community was already established before the coronavirus because many of the members that attend the church live in the same neighborhood.
All along this street here, which is Oxford Street, our church decided to, if the church was going to be here, then the people should be here too. So a lot of us just moved back in the community. The church has two key initiatives: the Inglewood Community Development Corporation, which connects people with affordable housing, and the Daystar Child Care and Infant Learning Center.
Because of everything that those groups have done, we decided this was a good place to be. It was a good family-friendly community.
Allison Bergeson now lives in the neighborhood with her family, and her daughters attend the daycare.
We just fell in love with the people there and the community in Daystar, and that community stemmed from Englewood Christian Church.
So as the pandemic continues and this tight-knit community must stay apart during the coronavirus, the pastor decided a parade would be a good way to lift people up. The congregation has already had 3 members diagnosed with the coronavirus and several in quarantine with symptoms.
We've got a ton of nurses and doctors in both our daycare and our church. We're very aware of we don't want to be part of the spread of the virus, but it's just but we want to find ways to be together. Yeah.
While the church remains closed due to the pandemic, the pastor has been doing Zoom video chats every night with members. They say more than 50 people join every night. Today, there was a large police presence in a Danville neighborhood, but there wasn't a crime. Instead, a birthday parade for 5-year-old Olivia. Our photographer, Eldon Wheeler, sent in these photos. Olivia is his niece. He tells us he just thought this would be a family parade, but instead it was a community parade. Hendricks County Sheriff's deputies, Danville fire trucks, and even a Plainfield police officer came out to wish her happy birthday. Love that, Kyle.
I do too, and we're all going to be loving and celebrating these warmer temperatures to start off the week. Chance for a few storms. It could be strong on Tuesday. We'll watch that for you, and cooler to end the week.
All right, Kyle, thank you, and thank you so much for joining us. Have a great night. Good Morning Indiana starts at 4:30.